Hi, how can I help you today? You're for makeover? Okay, cool. So what I'm just going to start out with is I'm just going to show you the tools I have at my disposal. If you can just tilt your head down for me, please. Okay, so you see here, I have my brushes. I'm just going to go through a quick array of what I have here. You can see they're still fairly new. Some of them are still in the packaging. I'll start down here. This is an eyebrow brush. It can also be used for your eyelashes. This is used for is when you do your eyebrows, you can use this brush and brush it through your eyebrows to just sort of blend it all together. And this can also be used to groom the hairs into place. I also like to use it for my eyelashes. If I think that they're a little too clumped together, I'll just run this through that very quickly and it'll usually separate them all for me. You've probably seen these before. This is a foam tip applicator, and it's mainly used for really packing on color. They're not very good brushes in my opinion. I prefer using haired ones that are hair, not the foam tip, just because I feel like this doesn't grab the product enough and it sort of can soak up the pigment, so it doesn't apply a strong color. But you'll see these a lot in pre-made packages, such as this one. Will come with one similar. But this one is of better quality, so if you were to use this one, it would work a little bit better than the ones that you normally come. They're a little bit more porous, so they soak up a little more. I really like this brush. I had a second one of this, so I've been using this one a lot. This is an angled brush, as you can see. And it's mainly used for lining. It can be used for cut creases as well, but it's usually used for lining, especially because this one is rather thin. It's thinner than usual ones, so it's good for getting it right underneath the lashes, right up against them. Next we have, I believe this is a lip brush or a lip liner brush. It's a very, very fine tip brush, but it's not very stiff. Otherwise I would say it's a liner brush. I think this is probably used more for the lips. It's very bendy and it's rather long, so it's probably used mostly for blending your lip colors out. This one is also, I believe, a lip brush, but most brushes are very versatile. You can use them for various things. I would say that this one is mainly lip brush, but you can use this for eyeshadow as well, because it's rather fluffier at the tip than the angled brushes. I wouldn't suggest using it for lining your lash line, but I'm sure it could still be used for that. Next, and I have used this one already, so there's no plastic packaging, we have just a flat brush. This is good for packing on color. I love using this one. I just think it's very smooth and flat, and it's one of my favorite brushes. Next we have two of the same, both, they're slightly different. One's a little bit longer and one is a little bit more angled, but they're both angled brushes. And, sorry, just moving. As you can see, there's a slight difference in them. This one here is a little bit shorter, or I'm sorry, it's a little bit longer, and it's not quite as angled, and it's a little fluffier. Whereas this one is a lot more angled, it's a lot thicker, and it's very flat at the top. It's not fluffy. So this is very good for lining, and this is more for lining if you want more of a smoky eyeliner. So I think that these are both great brushes with very different uses, surprisingly enough. This one is one of everyone's favorite brushes. Everyone that I've ever showed my brush kit wants to play with this one. And it actually has a brush guard on it. That's to keep it in shape and also to just prevent any dust from falling onto it. And this is called a fan brush. And to be honest, the fan brushes aren't very good for much. You can wipe off fallout that falls on your cheeks from doing your eye makeup, and you can contour with it. And you can always blend out colors with it, but on your face, not so much your eyeshadow. But it is a very fun brush, and it's very nice to look at, so I like this brush. Just gonna slide that back in its case. And we're moving on. These brushes are a bit different, you'll see, in color. Because these are made from a variety of different hairs. It can be nylon. Some of it is real hair, not human. Although I'm not sure if on here it says what kind of hair they are, but I hear that often it's rabbit. I think sometimes it can be human hair, but it usually is some form of hair. I think usually rabbit or horse. This is another flat brush. Most of my brushes here are flat, but this one in particular is a little bit longer and it's thin, so it's very good for packing color on again. I think usually this is good for when you want a lot of color on your lids, not so much for the corners. And I think this would be good for the inner eye corner, in my opinion, just because it's pretty thin at the tips, so it's good to get right in there. Just sort of pack it on. This is an angled blending brush, except most of these, like I said, are not very fluffy. So this should be used for blending, but usually a blending brush is a lot fluffier. This is pretty flat. But this is good for blending out the crease in a circular motion. It's good for smoky eyes. This is definitely the fluffiest of my brushes. It's a bit tapered, but backwards. It's thicker at the tip, kind of like a blush brush would be, and thinner and tapered at the bottom, so it gives you a lot more of a fluffiness. So this is great for blending out color once again. This can be used for basically all sorts of blending, whereas the angled blending brush would be used more for the crease and for your brow bone, just because of the angle of it, but this can be used for just overall blending on the lid, on the crease, anywhere really. This one I have also used, and this is just a flat, somewhat fluffy brush, but this is my favorite really for packing on color, just because it's shorter than most of the other ones. So you can really press that into the lid, and also the tip is great for getting a good line inside the crease. Oh, I was wrong. This one is actually extremely fluffy. If you'll hold for just 1 second. Oops, I'm knocking things over. this is a very fluffy brush. Again, the fluffier brushes are usually best for blending, but you can always use a fluffy brush for any sort of color. You can use it to pack it on. If you want a less, not quite a large an area blush, you can use a big fluffy brush like this one as opposed to a blush brush. Speaking of blush brushes, here are my blush brushes. And these are also still in the plastic packaging, I'm sorry. And they do also have a brush guard. So as you can see, they're very fluffy and they're very soft. They're also very shiny, so I think they're kind of pretty to look at. And they're always so fun to play with. And this is another fluffy blush brush. It's a little bit bigger, not too much. And I think it's a little bit angled, but I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it just kind of turned out that way. My last blush brush. And this one's the biggest out of all of them. And I think the softest. Lastly, we have just a bigger version of that fan brush that I showed you earlier, which this is definitely better for contouring. You can still sweep some fallout off of your cheeks with this one, but it's a little bit harder. Not nearly as easy. But that is it for the brushes, and I'll be using those later. For now, I'm just going to fold this up. Oops, wrong way. Close the top first. Fold it up like that. I'll just leave this to the side. Okay, next I'm going to show you all of the makeup that I'm going to be using today. And I did drop some of it, so I'm going to have to retrieve it. But let me just tilt your head up a little bit. Just so that you can see a little bit better. Oh, here goes some more things. Let me just take everything off of here and grab the things that I dropped. So this is the main palette I'm going to be using today, and it's by, if you can see, it's by e.l.f. Eyes, Lips, Face. And it's the Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette. It has a variety of colors, as you can see if I open this, ranging from rainbow colors and some neutral browns and blacks, grays, as well as some browns over on this side. One of my favorite shades, surprisingly, in this palette is this one right here. I'm not a fan of pink, but this one particular color is just so surprisingly neon, especially when layered over white, that I've just fallen in love with it. And I really like all these mermaidy greens over here as well. As well as this yellow. I do like the neons. I have a weakness for them, but there are some incredible neutral shades in here as well. And you can go for a neutral look that isn't boring. I have a very nice time doing some gold on the lids from either on this side or this, with a bit of this color here in the crease, layered on top with a darker smoky brown, usually somewhere from around here or here. And it actually, while I'm looking at this palette, I do have in this box a second e.l.f. palette. This is my makeup kit. And this one is the neutral eyeshadow palette. And here's what it looks like. As you can see, it's been used with water a couple of times, so that area has to be chipped off so that we can use it again. But it is easily remedied. But as you can see, there are some very good dark shades in here, as well as some very nice light shades, in particular the shimmering ones, as you can see. And we do have the grays and whites, but this is mainly a browns palette, which is what most people think of when they think of the word neutral, because they think of sticking to your natural skin tones. Although I've yet to see anyone with this color skin tone. Although it is probably my favorite color in this entire palette, this whole section really. With perhaps this is the exception. So those are the two e.l.f. palettes that I have. I have some smaller palettes that I'm going to be showing you as well. Here we have Steady Color, Special Effect Bright Eye Colors. And this is what it looks like. Oh, and if I didn't show you the front, it has a holographic case who her eyes blink open and close. I think it's a very neat touch. And it has that holographic cover. And this isn't possibly the best palette, especially when you look at the front and you see how bright the colors are in her lids. I would expect deeper, brighter colors, but they're still great colors regardless. There is a white, a purple, teal, coral pink, chartreuse, a medium sort of navyish blue, black, a silver gray, a purpley silver, and then just a light dove gray. My favorite in this palette, because I have a weakness for the brightest, is the turquoise, the coral, and this navy blue. Just because the navy I feel like is a very interesting color. It's not quite dark enough to be called a navy, but it's too dusky to be called a blue as well, so it's kind of a medium, strange shade. So there's that. This is by the Color Workshop, which is a very inexpensive brand, but it's still one of the best inexpensive brands that I have yet to find. And as you can see, this is what I showed you earlier. It comes with one of those foam tip applicators. As you can see, this is made to look like a cell phone of sorts, mostly an iPod. I just think it's a really fun little touch. The only downside to this palette is that the little pots are so small, they can be a little hard to get to. But I can show you that the colors are Tempt Me, Fetching, Riveting, Celestial, Text Me, Dazzling, Brilliant, Ethereal, Calm Me, Ravishing, Beg Me, Show Me, Natasha, Tease Me, Charming, Immortal, Gaga, Exquisite, Sasha, and Enchanting. And there's a good range of colors. There's a nice deep red, more burgundy color, some nice pale shades, pink, blues, greens, blacks. So some good colors in here. This is a good standard palette. I think it's good for younger girls who are just getting into makeup personally. Lastly, we have this Color Concept palette, which is a bit beaten up. I'm sorry about that. But it's very, very interesting because it's some very shimmery shades, and they're all in the shape of roses. And I just find this palette absolutely incredible. The pigmentation of these, considering that this is a fairly inexpensive brand, is just very impressive. If you can see, just barely touching with my fingertip. That one's not very good. The white one's really the most incredible. you get just this very pigmented swatch of color. And they're very, very soft, and they stay on like a dream. Like nothing you've ever seen before. So there's that. Next I'm going to show you the eyelashes I was considering putting on you today. And after that I'll show you the mascara that you have to choose from. So here they are. They are number 91202 Smoky Glamour. And they're by Revlon. They're runway lashes. And they're very spiky and dramatic. I thought you might like them because I know that you go for a little bit more of the crazy look sometimes, even when you're sticking to neutral shades. But they're very cool looking, and as long as you don't have glasses, they shouldn't cause you any problems. Unfortunately, I'm usually unable to wear false lashes because of my glasses, because they hit up against them. Alright, and then I'm just going to show you some of my basic items that I'll be using here today. I'll show you the mascaras first, because I said I would show you those. I have 3 for you to choose from, and they're all very, very different. We have, by Wet n Wild, this Mega Plump Mascara. It's waterproof. I'll show you what the brush looks like. They're all black in color. But here's what the brush looks like for this one. It is waterproof, so the formula is not that great, but if you are going somewhere where it's going to be a bit watery, if it might be raining, or if you have a tendency for your eyes to water up or for you to cry, this might be the one for you. Then we have one of my favorite mascaras of all time. This is the Colossal Volume Express. This is also waterproof, and it's called Cat Eyes. But the formula is incredible. You'd never seen anything quite like this. And the brush is really what makes it. Look, it's tilted. Curved, I should say. So it's really great for getting right in there. And if you hold it like this, it's great for getting underneath the lashes. And it's so cute. Sorry. And we have this Benefit They're Real mascara. It's one of the top mascaras right now. And I love the packaging. I just think that mirrored silver packaging is so cool. I'll show you the brush for this one too. The brush is really what makes most of these mascaras. As you can see, it's a very spiky brush, and the tip kind of has a ball-like form. It's very spiky. It can kind of be, to be honest, it can be a little bit painful to use because of how spiky it is. If it touches your skin, it can feel a little odd, but it's not too bad. Then we have my eyelash curler. It's purple. Yes, I know. It's a lot of people's favorite colors right now. Let's see. This is the foundation I'll be using on you. Now, I know that the bottle is not the color that it is, so don't be alarmed if it doesn't match you. It's Perfect Wear Extra Lasting Liquid Foundation with SPF 15, and it's by Avon. It looks like this, and I'll be using that on you. There was one brush that I didn't show you, and that was just the biggest foundation brush that I have for getting a lot of foundation. These are the 2 powders I'll be using on you. One of them is a bronzer, and this is by Rimmel London. It's a natural bronzer. It's a bit shimmery, which I'm usually not a fan of the shimmery bronzers, but they give you that bit of a glow. And then just for your regular foundation, I have a Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. So this is just going to be a colorless powder that I can put over top of your foundation so that it just makes your skin look very matte. I know it looks white here, but it's actually translucent in color. These are the two creams that I'll be using on your face. One of them is an age-defying moisture cream with SPF 15. So not only will you get SPF 15 with your foundation, but also with your moisturizing cream. And this will just, I know that you're not old or anything, but age-defying can also mean age-preventative. So we are preventing any wrinkles or sagging, anything like that from happening because your skin is so wonderful that we don't want anything to happen to it. And because we want your skin to look extra wonderful tonight, we're going to be using this foundation primer by Sephora. And this will just keep your foundation in place all night, and it won't smudge or smear or get all over the place. It'll just set it for you. On the subject of primer, I have the primer I'll be using on you. It's by Jordana, and I know that it's probably the least expensive brand of makeup you can get, but it's actually a very good primer. I've used quite a lot of these in my time. I've used about 3 already in the past year or so. And then I'll just be using for a cream base, this Ben Nye white makeup, just so that the colors stand out as much as they possibly can. Last we have the eyeliners that I have at my disposal. As you know, I am an eyeliner fanatic, so I had the most of these. Most of these are by Sephora, but I do have one by New York Color and one by Urban Decay. And I'll show you those first. This is my white that I'll be using, and I'll probably use this. Oops. Probably use this mostly on your waterline and on your inner corner, just for a great highlight, maybe under your brow bone. But it's a great color, and I can show you on the back of my hand. It's really shimmery and shiny. Oh, I know, I always talk way too fast, I'm sorry. Now, next we have my liquid liner that I'll be using on you. Whether we do black or brown makeup or colorful, I usually like to do black liquid eyeliner, just because I feel like it looks the most striking and dramatic. Which with lashes, the lashes that I'll be putting on you, can't really avoid that. Next we have my Sephora eyeliners, which are probably the best eyeliners I've ever owned. We have a black, a silver, purple, turquoise, and copper. And I'll show you what they look like all on the back of my hand. Here's the black. They are super soft. I don't even have to apply any pressure whatsoever to get their color. And they're silver. They're very, very metallic and shiny. The purple, the turquoise, which as you can see I've used quite a bit of, and the copper, which is probably the best for my eye color personally. Here's what those look like. And that's the last of the makeup that I'll be using for you today. So let's get started, shall we? Let's tilt you back up here. Oh, you seem to have sunk a little bit. There you are. Okay, so what do you think we should do today? Do you think we should go for this palette? Or maybe the neutral? You want to go big? Alright, let's go for colorful then. I know, so many people are doing that boring neutral makeup these days. Let's have a little fun for once. Okay, so I think I will start out with your face makeup and then move on to the eye makeup. Just wait a moment while I shift things into place here. Alright, so we'll start out with your foundation. So first I'm just going to apply the Age Defying Moisture Cream. Just going to get a little bit of that in my fingers. Just going to apply that to your face. almost done. There. Everything feel okay? Good. Okay, now we're going to do the primer. Get a little bit of that on my fingertips. Oh, too much. Don't want to over prime you. If you put too much primer on, you can kind of mess up your makeup. Rub that in. Mostly in the areas where your skin would get a little messed up. Along your jawline, where we're going to be applying some foundation, because you should always blend down your neck. Even if you're wearing something like this, as much skin is showing, cover it up. If you're wearing foundation, that is. Alright, and now I'm going to do your foundation. So I'm just going to get one of my brushes out. I'm just going to apply little dots of this all over your face, and then I'm going to blend it out with the brush. So I'm going to put one here, here, a couple on your forehead, a little on your chin, and along your jawline. Tilt your head up a little bit for me. Perfect. Just a little bit on your neck. Very good. Okay. Now don't move. We're going to start from the middle of your face and work our way out. So down your nose. Your chin. Onto your forehead. Sides of your face. Your cheeks. And along your jawline. Good, you're looking good. Okay, so now let me powder you with the Tarte finishing powder. I'm just going to take it off the cap. I don't want a lot. I don't want to over powder you. I'm going to use one of my brushes, not the big one that I showed you before. I'm going to use the softest one. Tap off any excess, as I taught you before. Just going to powder your face. There. Alright, now time for some bronzer. I think for your bronzer, I'll apply it first with the big brush that I showed you before, and then I'm going to use the fan brush. Actually, I'm not even going to use the big brush. I'll just stick right to the fan brush, and I'm using the big one. Just going to brush that through the bronzer. And just going to contour your cheekbones, temples, get a little more. And your jawline a little bit, just so it'll give you that V-line shape. Really heart-shaped face. Guess you've got a heart of bronze. Alright, so I think we can move on to the fun stuff now. I'm going to move this box a little bit out of the way, just so that I have a little more room to work. Oops, I seem to have pushed you a little bit. I'm sorry about that. Shift you back. So I'm going to be applying your primer first. So I'm going to get a little bit closer. So I'm just going to use the primer. Get some of that on my finger. Don't worry, they're clean. And I'm just going to apply that on your eyes. Your other eye. I want you to just look up a little bit for me. Just going to put a little bit underneath. Perfect. I can never get the cap on these straight. Now where did that go? Oh, found it. I'm going to use the cream base now, just so that your colors are really bright. A little bit under my finger. Not going to put any of this underneath. The other eye. Okay. Now that the base is on there, we're going to start with the eyeshadows. Now, what colors were you thinking of doing? Anything in particular? I know that you said you wanted something bright and fun, but you didn't really specify what. You want to do the neon pink, or the yellow, the mermaid greens, purple, all of them? So you want to do a rainbow eye. I knew you were my friend for a reason. Okay, so let's get started on that then. Just made my day. I love doing rainbow eye makeup, and so many people don't want to do it because it's too crazy, but I know that you're like me and you like having fun. Okay, so I'm just going to use this kind of small brush, the one that I showed you before, and I'm going to start with the neon pink. Is that alright, or would you rather do a red? Do you want to do a neon pink going into a red? Sound good? Okay. So we'll start with the neon pink right at the... Do you want it to go inner corner to outer corner, outer corner to inner corner? Inner corner, outer corner. Good. Okay, so we're going to start at your inner corner. We're going to use that neon pink. Just going to lightly dab that on the inner corner of your eyes. The other eye. Perfect. Okay, and now the red. You really just made my day with this. I love doing the rainbow makeup. It's so much fun. No one ever wants to do it. Do the red. This is gonna look so good on you. The good thing about the rainbow makeup is that it looks good on just about everyone. Because, you know, it has all the colors of the rainbow, so no matter what your eye color is, it's gonna look good. Time for the orange. Do you want this orange, the paler orange, or kind of the darker reddish orange? The paler orange, and then blend it? Okay. Yeah, I'm not worrying about blending just yet. I'm just getting the colors on there. Now, because this is a little bit paler than most of these, and it's a little less in pigmentation, I'm going to have to really pack this on. Might have to do a couple of layers. It's going to go in about the center of your lens. Next is the yellow. Do you want to do the really bright neon yellow or kind of more of a toned down? Of course, why am I asking? You want the neon. Time for the neon. It's going to go sort of on your outer corner a little bit. Not too far into the outer corner. Still more on the lid. Then the green, I'm going to do sort of a yellowy green first, just to get it really ready for that undersoup. Yes, I like this color too. And this is really on the outer corner now. Okay. Time for the greens. Did you want any of these, or maybe the darker ones? You want this one? Oh, okay, this one. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Here you are. And I'm just going to start sweeping that underneath your eyes. Just on the outer corner of your eyes. Perfect. Then I'll do more of a tealish color. Just getting you ready for that transition into the blue. I'm trying to keep these mostly matte right now. We might add some sparkle in and shine later. There you go. And the blue. Did you want a dark blue or a bright blue? Bright blue. I don't even know why I ask you anymore. Here's the blue. This is right in the center for the most part. And then the bright purple. Because what is purple without bright? Did you want to do an indigo color? Because I know that it's not technically a part of the rainbow anymore, but who really follows that? I mean, it's indigo. You do want to do the indigo? Good. I love indigo. It's one of my favorite colors. I know everything's my favorite color, but I like colors. Otherwise I wouldn't like makeup. Alright, and then just on the inner corner, we'll do the purple. We'll do a mix of these two purples, just because I don't have quite the color of purple that I'd like. We're going to blend it with that pink on the upper lid as well. We're just going to kind of do a little twisting motion here. Kind of gets it right in there. Okay, now I'm going to blend it. I always seem to be kicking my brushes around. Shame on me. I should take better care of my brushes. Alright, so I'm going to take this fluffy brush here. I'm going to blend that. I'm going to blend the colors all into each other, starting with the pink into the red, and the red into the orange, the orange into the yellow, the yellow into the green, yellowish green, the chartreuse as I like to call it, then the green to the blue, blue, teal, blue into the indigo, indigo into the purple, and then lastly that purple and pink. Perfect. This is gonna look so good. You have no idea. Oops. Sorry. Okay, so now do you want to add some sparkles, some glitter and fun? Of course you do. Not too much though. We don't want to look like a drag queen, as fabulous as they are. Now, let's start with some paler, like shimmer colors, not so much glitter, because we don't want an attack. So we'll do the pink shimmer from... Oh, I don't have a pink shimmer in this palette, but I do in this one. Okay, I'll use this one. I'm going to use that rose palette that I showed you. I'll do that little bit of pink shimmer. Should mainly focus the shimmer on the outer corner, or the inner corners, just because it's really good for highlighting. And then I don't really have a shimmery red, but I do have a shimmery yellow. You can do it on the center of the lids too, so that works. I have a very shimmery yellow in this one, and a pretty good shimmery one in this one. Which one would you like? The very good one. I don't know why I asked. Okay. Do that right on the center of your lids. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do any on the outer corner, but I think most of your lower lash line I'll do that shimmery color just because it's not quite as obvious underneath. In fact, I think I might, because most of them are the shades that I need. I'm going to use some of the eyeliners that I showed you earlier. I'm going to use the turquoise and the purple. So, well, first off, let me do the under eye eyeliner. I'm going to use that thin liner brush that I showed you earlier. I'm going to take one of these mermaidy greens, shimmery colors. Ooh, this one has a lot of great sparkle in it. Put that right there. Okay, and since it goes into the turquoise, I'll use the turquoise highlighter. Gotta be very careful with this. Here we go. There. I'm just gonna take the brush and blend that a little bit. Perfect. And I'll take a shimmery indigo color. I've got one in here in the rose palette. And I'll put that on top of the indigo. It's a small section. And then the purple. Right on that inner eye corner. I'll blend that a little bit. I'll use the brush. It's just a little safer that way. Okay. Now, I'm going to line your waterline with the black and your upper lash line. Now, don't worry, this one is not shimmery. It's labeled as a flashy liner, and it's labeled flashy deep black, but there's no actual shimmer in it. I think it's just supposed to mean that it'll make you look fancy. So, waterline. I know it can be a bit uncomfortable, but just bear with me. Doing very well. Perfect. Okay, and then your upper lash line. Perfect. Liquid eyeliner. That really bold look. Now don't flinch. Okay. Just gonna do short little strokes at first. And they're all gonna connect. Would you like a wing? No, you just want... Okay. Yeah, adding the wing might be just a bit too much. Hard to believe, right? Alright. Now your lashes. I know it's everyone's favorite part. So with these, I'm going to have to apply the glue too. Remember to bend them. They are double layer lashes, so you're lucky. So put the glue on. I'll just wait for it to dry a little bit. Doesn't have to dry for long. 20 seconds at most. Okay, they should be ready. Here you go. Just shift those a little bit. There you go. And then, where'd the other ones go? Up here, there. Oh no. I'm going to bend them. Make sure that they're nice and loose. Put the glue on. Wait about 20 seconds again. So how are you? Good? That's good. Are you having a good time? I am. Okay, put that on you. Use both hands just to make sure it's good. There you go. Okay, now lastly, just going to curl your lashes. Okay. And then which mascara did you want to use? This one, or this one? Oops. This one or this one? This one? Okay. I'm sorry about that. And your lower lashes. See, I told you this one was good for the lower lashes. You made a good choice. Okay. So you should be just about done. Let me just look at you. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, I didn't do a blush. Did you want any blush, or do you think that the eyeshadow's enough? No blush? Okay. How about lip color? No? Just want the eye makeup? Sounds good to me, boo. So you are all done, and if I do say so myself, you are a masterpiece. So I'm sorry for all the loudness. You know how clumsy I am, but I really hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you like your makeup. Did you want to see how you look? Okay. Let me find a mirror somewhere. Oop, there's a little one in here. Here you go. Do you like your eyelashes? I thought you would. So, I guess I will see you later. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick, and then I'll be back. Bye.